Hello and welcome to the Bears and Lions podcast. This is the podcast where we challenge our present by viewing our past. I'm a firm believer that our greatest future lies within the correct view of our past, because when you actually look at it, you're going to see that there were so many challenges, so many obstacles, so many random things that life created out of thin air and put in your way, and you were able to overcome those by your perseverance because you had the mentality to just keep swimming. That's what we're going to be talking about in today's episode, because my weekend was wild. I can't even begin to explain. I share about it in this episode, so I hope this encourages you. If you are in a place where you feel like you're stuck or that there's no way out, just know that you're not alone and we can just keep swimming. I hope that you will enjoy this conversation, and I'll see you on the other side. I think most people know what I'm talking about when I say just keep swimming. I think a lot of people have seen the beloved animated Pixar film Finding Nemo and probably have sang the song to themselves that Dory sings. When everything has gone wrong, of course, Dory, with the short-term memory, she says, "What do we do when life gets you down? We just keep swimming, just keep swimming." And then she sings her song and they move on to the next part of the movie. I think a lot of us have probably sang that to ourselves and we've experienced it. It's almost like a meme in our lives, or a little bit of a joke in a way, but it's rooted in truth. It's rooted in a good message of perseverance. And the reason why I wanted to bring it up is because I have felt like I'm just swimming, and it is my goal to just keep swimming, because if I don't, I'm not sure what's going to happen. And if you're like me, you probably have been in this more than once. You've probably been in this mentality or been in these type of moments before. And if you're going through something right now where it has nothing to do with what you ate or how you slept or how many times you've been to the gym. It's just life, right? There's so many times when life can throw new challenges out of thin air. They can just create it. You wake up in the morning, you slept incredible. You had a delicious breakfast. You saw your favorite people. You had an incredible day, and that's awesome. But then the next day you wake up, same, you feel great. It's great sleep. You have a great breakfast, and then before 10 a.m., all fires have just completely engulfed in the world around you. And of course, some fires are more serious than others, but sometimes there's fires where we make it like way too serious because we're dramatic like that. At least I am. So if you're like me, you probably turn mountains into molehills at times. But it just happens through life, and it has zero to do with all of the protocols that you can put in place, other than protocols to be able to react to it. And the reality is oftentimes you just have to keep swimming. I actually really like what James says in the Bible. And he says, "Consider it pure joy whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." It's the lesson of building endurance means practicing. There's some viral videos of, I believe, Alex Hormozy. And of course, there's also the scene in the movie Evan Almighty where Lauren Graham's talking to Morgan Freeman, who is portraying God. And Morgan Freeman is expressing, if you want somebody to be patient, do you give them opportunities to be patient? And so it's the building the endurance of it. Alex Hormozy kind of walks through it. If you want somebody to learn patience, then you won't give them everything that they want right off the bat. If you want somebody to build an endurance on that, they're going to probably go through some hardships in order to build the skills and the muscles and the endurance to withstand the heat that it's going into, or those moments that it takes to get there. I really have gone through a little bit of the ringer. And although there's many things that have gone well, there's also things that have not gone well. And I find it so funny. I called my parents yesterday and I just had to laugh. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. And I'll share why in a moment. But it's just, a life sometimes will throw you things and you think it's going a completely different direction. So if you're in that moment, I really hope to encourage you. And I hope that the perseverance side of things will continue to push you forward. I recently shared about how I've moved to Baltimore, and the first few months were absolutely fantastic. And it was a new area and I was learning everything. And like the big thing for me was that traffic wasn't that bad. And I was able to go to work and come home without any issues. Even during rush hour traffic on my way home, I would be able to get home within 30 minutes or so, which was only really adding like 10 minutes of time to my normal commute to work. And so it wasn't too bad. Well, a tragedy happened a short time ago, and a key bridge collapsed, actually. Is a horrible tragedy, a 1.6 mile bridge. Nationally, it was on national news. There were casualties. It was terrible. But one of the things that's also done is it's shifted the traffic patterns. So now during the rush hour traffic, it takes me anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes to get home, which is just, it's adding that extra 30 minutes to an hour some days to get home. It's not something that I plan for. And I've looked for alternate routes, and there just isn't any other routes, alternate routes to go. And that's not me complaining. I understand it was a tragedy. It was terrible. There's nothing that we can do about it. There's no change or different way home that I can take. And what I've learned is, in life, we don't always get to choose the obstacles or the timeline that we want to reach our goals or our passions or our dreams. And it's like being stuck in a traffic jam. And once we've searched all options and realized that there's no better way, then the only way out is actually through. You just simply have to bear it and drive on. That's kind of the mentality of just keep swimming in and of itself, right? The perseverance is the fact that, sometimes there isn't a left, there isn't a right, there isn't a different way to go. If you want to get somewhere, it's just the one way. And it takes as long as it takes, but you just have to deal with it. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. If you want to connect with me further, you can find me on my social media. I'm most active on X, which is formerly known as Twitter, at Kyle Vaught. That's KYLEV as in Victor, ATT. But I'm also trying to become a little bit more active on Instagram and Threads, which is at Kyle_Vaught. So shoot me a follow, shoot me a message, say hi, or maybe there's a topic that you want me to discuss on a future podcast episode. Either way, I cannot wait to get connected. Now let's get back to the conversation. And I could complain, and I could easily go through and say, woe is me, and this is terrible. But it's also given me an opportunity to listen to podcasts. It's given me an opportunity to listen to some audiobooks and learn some things. It's also given me some encouragement on certain days when I've been able to experience it, because I'm able to gain knowledge through it. Now, it was interesting because my car, I shared about it about 2 weeks ago. The car that I had broke down completely. The engine had to be replaced, and I wasn't about to put in thousands of dollars into an older car to replace the engine when something else could happen. So I made the decision to buy a new car. And I purchased that car, talked with my dad and my family, and made a wise decision, or I thought it was a wise decision to get this car. Good rating so far on this car. I got a Kia Seltos, and the gas mileage is phenomenal. It drives super smooth. I love driving it. Even in the traffic, it's nice. And Saturday, Saturday, I woke up and went to the gym. It was great. I was running my errands just like normal, and got to the grocery store. And on my way out to when I put all my groceries in the car, I went to start the car, and a bunch of errors popped up, and then smoke started coming out of the center console right by the steering wheel. Smoke won't let it's it's in brand new car, so electrics, like, it will not let you start the car. So I wasn't able to put the car in drive or park or neutral or anything. And I'm sitting here, and there was a moment of just thought that came through my head of, I feel like I'm on the show Survivor. And I haven't watched the show in years, but I remember Survivor, its tagline was to outwit, outplay, outlast, right? And they would throw all sorts of challenges at these contestants on these islands, and their ultimate goal, of course, was to outlast and be the sole survivor, winning the prize money. And I feel like I'm on the show right now in life, because I thought I made a wise decision in getting a brand new car so that I didn't have to deal with car problems. And here we are, something faulty. And I talked to the dealership, and they had said they hadn't ever seen anything like this. Now, I don't know if they're just blowing smoke up my butt, but they seemed adamant. They were kind. They were genuine. They wanted to do the right thing and make it right. So they did tow the car, and they set me up in a rental, which that's a whole nother story, probably for another podcast. Because I mean, I'll just share it. So the rental, they set me up with a big rental company. You'll see the commercials all the time. And the rental company is close to a car sales company, which is the same. So they give me the address. I Uber to this car sales place, not the actual car rental place. And my Uber's really cool. He's this awesome guy. We had a great conversation, and we get to the car sales place. I have all my groceries, by the way, because I just bought like the week's worth of groceries that I needed, and I don't want them to go bad, and I'm not going to leave them in my car that's being towed. So I'm carrying my gym bag and my groceries and all this stuff. And I come into this car sales place, and the car salesman's like, "Are you here for a appointment?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm supposed to pick up a car." And he was like, "Oh, are you buying a car?" I was like, "No, I'm renting a car." He goes, "Oh, that's down the road." So he gets me, he decides, out of the kindness of his heart, he takes me over there, and they set me up in this car, and the car smells like cigarettes and bad cologne. I mean, it is rough. So needless to say, I'm not driving anywhere today. I work from home, so I'm not having to go anywhere. However, it does put a damper on like going to the gym in the mornings and things like that, because I really just don't want to drive. It makes me nauseous driving around in that. And it was just this wild thing of like, what is happening in my life? I share this to help you understand that whatever you're going through, please understand, I'm not trying to like outdo anybody. What you're going through is insane as well. We are all going through our different adventures and our different troubles and our different things that we have to just keep swimming. The only way out is through. To quit now, it wouldn't do anybody any good, and it wouldn't make it any easier. In fact, it would probably just be harder, because we'd have to start over in something else, doing something else that's probably going to run up against the same challenges or different challenges that are just as hard. So the only way out is through. And if you're in a place in life right now where you just feel like your whole mentality is just keep swimming, keep going. Keep going. I have to tell myself this, because this weekend I was beside myself. I bought a brand new car. It's not supposed to have car problems. And here, 2 weeks in, it breaks down and completely shuts down. And now I'm like, I don't know I haven't heard from the dealership yet. They said they were going to look at it at the service station and see what's going on. I don't know what's going to happen, but I want to give the dealership a chance to make it right. Before I start demanding things, I just want to give them a chance to make it right. So I'm hoping they do. But it's all these things that are happening. And I feel like my life is just one long season of the TV show Survivor. And I'm just trying to get through the challenges and not be voted off by the people of the tribe. It's wild to think about all the things that have happened in just the last few months. So I hope it encourages you. You're not the only one going through wild things. There's out of this world things that you are going through, and you just need to keep going. There's no other direction. It's like stuck in a traffic jam. There isn't anything else to do. If you're adamant about reaching your goals, if you're adamant about going back to school, if you are genuine about your pursuit of career or pursuit of the next step or pursuit of knowledge and the things that you want to learn and the things that you want to do and experience in life, just keep swimming. That is all I can simply say. That's what I'm telling myself every single day I wake up. Just keep swimming. I really hope that this encourages you. I really hope you'll just keep swimming. 6 months from now, we'll look back on what we're going through and we'll be telling these funny stories about what we've overcome. And it'll just be that. It'll be a funny story. So just keep swimming. I promise you we're going to make it through because there's no other way. There's nowhere else we can go except just making it through. The only way out is through. So let's go through it. Together, we're going to find a way. I hope that all of you have a wonderful week. I hope you have a much, much better week than my weekend. But for all of you, I hope you have a wonderful week. Remember to give grace, show love, and as always, stay stellar. Peace.